Hi guys, it's me, Alex. Sorry, I guess I'm not used to going 6 o'clock. It's a little bit early for me, but we had to switch our life due to lots of private sessions, so I have to fit them in. While I am glad to be back, I am all relaxed, ready to rock and roll. Started a new class yesterday, our dispatch service, dispatch training. 29 students, 29 students. Amazing people, goal oriented, eager to learn. I've been so pleased yesterday to meet so many different nationalities. We all unique, we have different mindset, but everybody wants to learn how to dispatch. I see my prior students are joining us, and hopefully you guys gonna be asking questions, because from yesterday class I figure out that we still have to understand the difference versus company dispatcher, independent dispatcher, and independent dispatch service. Well, we all get confused. I've been signing up for a bunch of different groups, and I am trying to change everybody's opinion on how to proceed and what you have to do. But it's a lot of false information going on there, guys. So let's make it clear. We can have three different models being a dispatcher. So let's talk first about company dispatcher. So I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to see why is the company dispatcher is different than independent dispatcher or dispatch service. Well, first, and hi guys, please ask me questions, stop me. I'm going to read through the comments so we can answer this debate. Well, first of all, company dispatcher, guys, is going to be what? An employee, right? You're going to be an employee for the company. So what does it mean? That means that it's like any regular job. You're going to be hired. Probably 80% of you going to have the salary, weekly salary. Starting point nowadays, probably 700. Good dispatcher go to 1,500 per week, maybe 2,000. It depends how many trucks they dispatch. But you're going to go to work from 7 to 5. Due to COVID, of course, we had unusual changes. Some companies let you work from home. We've seen a lot of brokers have been working from home, and it's kind of been nightmare with all those phone dropping, right? Was not be able to connect. A lot of people are not really good in working from home. You get distracted. Yes, it's comfortable. Yes, it's maybe easy, but for dispatch and brokerage, not that good, because especially for the big brokers, right? How many of you call in the TQL and they connect you for another person, and you've been waiting to get the answer about that load? Boom, the phone is dropped. So that's why I've seen that most of the brokers, most of the dispatchers who are company dispatchers, they coming back to work from the office. Well, what else is there to say about company dispatcher? First, you're going to manage from 5 to 12 trucks. In the beginning, they're going to give you 2-3 trucks, see how many you can manage. My advice, guys, you cannot go more than 12 trucks if you have been doing it for a while. Otherwise, you're not going to be doing a really good job. Unless you have lots of dedicated lanes. So if your company has the same lanes over and over and over, then yes, you can dispatch 25 trucks, because half of them are still going to be doing the same route: Chicago, Atlanta, Atlanta, Chicago, for example, Chicago, Memphis, Memphis to Chicago, North California to South California. If you have that, then you're not really dispatching. You organizing their movements, right? Because most of those loads are already on schedule. But if you don't have that and you have to go on a load board, you can manage up to 12 trucks doing a good job. Another good point here, guys, if you're good in dispatching reefers, then stay with reefers. If you already know how to dispatch dry vans, then yes, just stay with dry vans. When I started a long time ago, it was so hard because they throw at me 14 trucks. I had 3 flatbeds. I had 5 dry vans, and the rest was reefers. Market is different. So it's going to be like stressful, guys. It's hard. So at least if you dispatch more than 10 trucks, try to stay to the same equipment. If it's dry vans only, at least you know what's going on because it is different market. Well, what else is there for the company dispatcher? Well, you're going to get paid probably W-9 unless you arrange to have your own corporation and they still going to pay you 1099. I'm here in Chicagoland. Still, nobody wants to contribute to your taxes, so you're probably going to get paid 1099. Again, you can be on a weekly salary. You can have percentage per gross, or you can have per truck. And here I didn't mean, see, I made a mistake. Not percentage per truck, but you're going to get paid per truck. For example, set rate. Each truck, you're getting paid $150, $200. Do I like that if I would be the owner of the company? Well, not really. Dispatchers get comfortable. They don't really want to try harder because, if you know you're getting the set 200, 250 per truck, 150, why should you hustle, right? So I am talking to you right now as the owner of the company. Well, if I'm just a dispatcher in the company, and that's what actually did bother me in the beginning, because I am fast, right? Students in my class know my thinking is going like in a record. I'm there already. I can negotiate. So when I started, they wanted me to sit there till 5 p.m. And I did not like that because I finished my job at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, sometimes at 11 o'clock. And we have all the devices nowadays. I can still check emails. I can still answer. So the settings of being a company dispatcher did not really work for me. Just again, as many of you know, I don't like to work for anybody, but here's an option. So you can learn dispatch and you can go and work for trucking company. Usually it's going to be bigger trucking company or it can be a smaller carrier. While smaller carrier probably going to let you work from home since most of them don't really have an office. Usually, owner of the company still on the road, so he still driving. Well, let's see what you're gonna do. Well, you're still gonna do all the duties what dispatchers do, right? You're gonna be coordinating and managing loads. You're gonna be making sure that your drivers are loading, unloading. You're gonna be taking care of the paperwork. You might have to help with invoicing. Every company is different. Sometimes you will need to help with accounting, but a lot of companies now using TMS. So most of you guys going to be putting your rate confirmations in the system. You're going to be assigned the drivers. You're going to be talking to the drivers. In the bigger companies, you're going to have different shifts. Sometimes they have a day dispatch, they have a night dispatch, and they have the weekend dispatch. If you guys working for the smaller carrier, well, you are 24/7. You're going to be there night dispatch. You're going to be there weekend dispatch. That's why I advise for all my students, actually discuss this. When you even work for the company and it's a smaller company, make sure, after 5, 6 o'clock, the owner of the company takes care of the rest. Because unfortunately, they don't pay us 24/7, and you need to have time for your family, for your kids, for yourself. You cannot do trucking 24/7. Otherwise, you're going to start hating it. Well, let's see if we have any questions about company dispatcher. Again, how to become a dispatcher? You need to have a knowledge. You need to understand the market. Is it easy to find a job? Well, everybody wants experience. Most of my students after my class, they find a job because they learn the basics. They know how to use load boards. They already know the equipment types. They already booked their first load. So they have easier time to find that first job in a company settings, because most of the trucking companies, they do not have time to teach you. Well, let's continue and see. So as independent dispatcher, you're going to be working as independent contractor, right? So you're going to be working for motor carrier as well, but those are going to be smaller carriers probably. And you can have 2-3 small carriers, and still, if you are only one person, independent dispatcher, how many trucks physically can you dispatch? Again, we're talking about quality dispatch. We're talking about making sure that rate per miles are good. We're talking about not just to book the load to get rid of your driver for today, but make sure that he makes profit. So in this case, still you dispatching 10-12, but what changes? What changes is how you get paid, right? So usually you have percentage from the gross, or you can still have the flat fee. Whatever you guys discuss, in this case, you will need to make agreement, sign agreement with the motor carriers. They usually gonna provide you load boards, logins. Nowadays, for example, that they gave an option for you to have your own load board as dispatch service. You can have that option, and I do believe we're gonna post our 30 days free code after the video. You guys can get that. What is it different? Well, now you can work from home. You can set your own hours as long as you finish your work. And sometimes, guys, if your guys go coast to coast, if they taking longer loads, you don't have to do it every day. Some days I don't even have to pick up that phone. I pre-book my loads 2-3 days ahead. So independent dispatch service. So let's see if we have any questions. And I think Nadezhda is asking me, how many trucks one dispatcher can serve with a good quality of work? Again, it depends on your experience. Beginners, I would advise you to stay with 5-6 trucks, not more than that, because it takes time to get used to market, to live that full year of dispatching. So I advise 5-6. For pro like me, well, I can manage up to 15, maybe 20 sometimes, but do I want to? No, I am giving the quality job, so I'm charging extra fee and I am providing other services. Let's see, Leo is asking the question, can I dispatch at least 1 or 2 trucks and still drive? Well, we're talking about safety. We're talking about actually also load boards. I mean, you need to make sure you have the computer with you, because the phone version of even that or truck stop is not a live version. So you're going to miss a lot. Plus, then you will need to make sure you take a break. I mean, yes, I've seen a lot of people still driving and dispatching themselves, but driving and dispatching other 2 trucks, well, the market is good right now, right? It's easy. While the market goes down, it's going to get harder. I can tell you this, if you miss few days without the loads, if you're going to be sitting there and taking whatever you were able to sew at the moment you have the break, in the end, you're going to lose more money. So my suggestion for you, hire independent dispatcher who is going to be working for you, who is not driving, and who can take care of the setups. Because even setups, how easy it is to do setups while you're driving. Well, it's not easy. And Leo, you know me. We don't want to put people in danger. Nobody deserves to get killed just because you're trying to do setup. So this is my question. Hire the dispatcher and make sure that they do a good job for you. Another question I have, should I subscribe to the load board? Well, as an independent dispatcher, As I already told you, you have two options. I mean, I'm showing you four, okay? Two options, actually three options. One, have your own load board. Second, have carrier provide you load board. In this case, if you are dispatching 2-3 different carriers, you're gonna have to do 3 different login. And a third option, always sign up for brokers load boards. As a dispatcher, you cannot do so. So if you sign up your new carrier with a TQL, GB Hunt, Coyote, XPO, Convoy, Amazon, they're gonna have their own account. You will have login and you can dispatch your, you can book the loads. Like today, who had a problem with that today? That power was acting up. Well, who was able to book their loads anyway? Well, people who had a backup. For example, I had a truck stop as well, barely using it, but today I had to post my trucks because I didn't like the slowness of the DAP. And other 5 loads I book on the apps. I went on TQL, I went on Convoy, 2 loads on Convoy and XPO. So is that important to have login as a backup? Plus, did I have to talk? No, guys, I was making these PDFs and getting ready for live, creating some videos, having the private consultation. My dispatch today covered six loads, took me 35 minutes. 35 minutes, that's all. So if I would not have all other things I do, I would be free to go. I could go spend time with my kids. I can go exercise. I can just go and, plant my flowers, whatever you guys want to do. So let's go now and see what does it take to become independent dispatcher. Well, here's the 6 steps that are recommended. Actually, they've been recommended from pros from industry. First, they say complete education and training. Well, do we have a special college degrees for dispatching? No, but we have lots of trainings available. We also provide one of them. Most of you know me because I teach dispatch classes. I started doing it after I understood that trucking is so uneducated. And it doesn't mean that we're not educated, but it's just this industry brings people with no experience, and it's no such a certification programs or requirements. So I would advise you, it doesn't matter who you choose, guys. Make sure you get your foundation. Make sure you get that experience from somebody who is doing it every time. It can be me, it can be somebody else, but get your foundation, because it's not gonna be fair for you to dispatch somebody without knowledge, without knowing the market. Well, get industry experience. Again, if you have been a driver, maybe your husband's driving as well, you are already part of the trucking. For everybody else, the training is going to give you that experience. For example, in my class, all those extra homework, quizzes, everything else, this is as experience, because we cover so much that sometimes, I mean, not sometimes, but I know for a fact that my students, 80% of them, they know more than some people who have been doing dispatch for a few years. I mean, I can guarantee you this. Second step, well, you need to apply the skills, because somebody's going to tell you how to do it. For example, I'll show you how to do it. You're going to hear me how I'm doing it, but you need to apply those skills every time. Make sure you prepare the map. Make sure you check the market. Make sure you choose the tools every day, every load, every load, every load. Then, of course, you need to register your business, because as any business, for tax purposes, do you want to have dispatch business as with your social security? No, you want to protect yourself. So my suggestion, just get corporation, S corporation, C corporation, whatever you decide, LLC, you decide what you want to do and market yourself. And please make sure you come up with a good name. Don't come up with something silly or something which doesn't make sense. Well, you represent in trucking, right? You represent in logistics. So it has to do something with logistics. Well, then you need to get the load boards. We already discussed this a million times. You can do it on your own. You can have it from your carrier, just as long as you have at least one good subscription, one pro account. And why? Because they will have those extra tools, market changes, quick rate search, and everything else. And connect with shippers and brokers. Well, how are you going to do that? Well, you're going to do it every time you book that first load, right? Building a relationship, making sure that you guys are doing a great job. That's how you guys are going to be building that relationship. Well, what else? What else is there to talk about? Well, dispatcher, independent dispatcher usually work for owner operators, right? And I suggest you guys, as Leo asked me before, can I drive and still book the loads? Well, guys, I really think that you should have somebody in the middle who is going to have your back, who can really find you the best load, who is going to maybe help you with the safety, with your IFTA, who sometimes even can calm you down. What if you have breakdown, right? What if you have breakdown and somebody need to give you that direction, right? Here you have your backup. You have your dispatcher who is there for you, who is going to help you to solve the problem. How much money do I need to save to become independent dispatch service? Well, let's talk about it. So right now we were talking about just independent dispatcher working for few different motor carriers. So it's only you, just only me, Alex, working maybe for 2-3 different carriers, maybe for one, up to 10-12 trucks. It depends on you. Now, Leo, because he already went through my class, actually, Leo, you missed your IFTA free class. I don't know the reasons, but you should retake it. I'm still going to honor that for the next IFTA class. So now Leo has a business mind. He's a business-oriented person. He wants to build dispatch service. What is going to be the difference here? Well, now he has a business model. He is still going to provide services for small carriers, bigger carriers, but he is going to have people working under him, right? So he's not a trucking company. He doesn't have trucks. He doesn't have trailers. He doesn't have MC. He doesn't have a DOT. Hopefully he has a corporation, LLC, partnership. Now he has extra people who helping him to dispatch, because Leo understands I can only physically dispatch 10-12 trucks. What if I want to go on vacation like Alex, right? Who is going to dispatch those trucks? You need to have backup. Plus, Leo has a big dreams. He's going to be a mega dispatch service one day. So he starts with himself. At some point, people are going to start to reach out to him, and physically he cannot manage this. So then he's going to hire somebody. He's going to hire help. So he's going to hire other dispatcher, and he's going to pay them whatever he decides to pay them, because now Leo is the owner of dispatch service. Other person, let's say Mike and Melody, they are employee. He can pay them percentage. That's what would be wisely. So they really do good job. He can pay them per truck, and he is managing dispatch service. And he can have as many as 20. I've seen dispatch services having 50, 60 people working for them. Well, usually overseas because labor is very cheap there. But that's a dispatch service. So are we clear on this? Company dispatcher works for company, usually 7 to 5. Independent dispatcher works for smaller companies, motor carriers, physically dispatches by himself up to 12, 15 trucks. It depends on abilities. And dispatch service, also providing dispatch service for as many carriers as they can get, because now they have extra help. So at some point, if Leo gonna be dispatching 100 trucks, he probably gonna have 10 employees for his dispatch service. Let's see. Who is asking me? Hi, Sessiger. How many carriers can a dispatcher pro work with at that time? Again, if you just independent dispatch service up to 15 trucks, still too much. I would say 10, 12, do quality job, provide extra services, safety, IFTA, charge more, work less. That's my model. Do a good job, charge more, work less. Well, any other questions? Software is called TMS. What software what software do you use to track your drivers? It depends who I'm dispatching. So if I dispatch different carriers, I have login to their logbooks. All my carriers, I have login. I have to visually see my trucks, so I have them. For having all the information in one spot, I use TMS, tracking management software, and I like UTAG. I just switched to them. I also gonna send the link if you guys want to demo. Why UTAG? Because it lets me have information with a different MC. So it's very good for independent dispatcher because I don't have just only my company. I also have other companies. So this way I can have everything in the same software. I don't have to have 10 different logins. I don't have to try my carriers to go by different TMS. So that's part that I offer when I negotiate. I tell my carriers they don't have to worry about invoicing. They don't have to worry about safety. I provide them that for them as well, of course, for extra money. And I am taking care of their factoring and everything else in one TMS. Other question before we take a little break, and we're gonna have a guest today. You guys gonna be surprised to see my superstar because she finished my classes few months ago and she's already independent dispatch girl, and we're gonna ask all the questions. Let me answer a few more questions and we're gonna go to meet our superstar after short break. Kaiser's asking me, lots of owner operators of carriers are hiring dispatcher from outside USA. Reason is they are paying less. Yes, of course. Outsourcing. They are paying less. And I know, Kaiser, you texted me. I was on vacation last week and you asked me, I'm trying to reach carriers, but they are not willing to pay my prices because they somebody dispatching them from outside of USA for 2-3%. Well, I guess this is a sales, right? And in our webinar, which coming up in the end of August, how to build your independent dispatch service, we're gonna be really going over it and looking the techniques. First, you need to tell them what is the difference. Having somebody who lives in this country, who knows weather, geography, traffic, maybe better negotiation, you can sell that. So I mean, I never had a problem somebody telling me, well, no, you cannot dispatch me because somebody's paid cheaper. Well, show me your monthly invoices. Let me see what I can improve. So if you already have some knowledge, you can see by invoices, by where they go, what are they missing? Are they going to mountains when it's snowing? Are they going to that area because they're just not really knowledgeable of the market? So you can tell that, look, guys, I can improve. I am going to go with the market flow. I am local here. You can reach me. It's going to be no problem with connection. I will be here for you. I mean, it's always personal touch. And of course, outsourcing is a big thing because they save money. My thing is, I really believe that in the end of the day, they are not really saving money because the real pro dispatcher is gonna earn you more money per week, per month, per year. The pro dispatcher is gonna prevent your liability and cargo claims. Pro dispatcher is gonna advise you how to sometimes to grow. And that's why most of my girls, they don't just come for dispatch classes. And my students, when they are going and starting to build dispatch services, they come back for safety and compliance. They come back for IFTA calculations. They come back to get the webinar, how to open company, so they can provide all those services. Tell me, how many outside dispatch services have a clue about regulations? I already make a joke of it, right? I've been reteaching so many of them. And when I ask simply about HOS hours, what do I get back? What is HOS? So how can you dispatch me? I know it's 2%. If you don't really have a clue what is HOS is. And some of the services actually step up. Some of the services understand that they need to learn rules and compliance and everything else. But that's, Kaiser, that's what you can tell your prospects, that you giving them the whole package. And you are here in USA and you know how it works. And you've been working for different companies. So believe it or not, 10 people gonna tell you no, one person gonna tell you yes. And if you do a good job, if they're gonna see the difference, that one person is gonna bring you lots and lots of clients. Well, let's take a little break and we're gonna introduce my student and we're gonna ask her all these questions. Hi, it's me, Alex, your sassy dispatch girl. Well, most of you are my former students and you took my dispatch classes already. Some of you took my safety and compliance training, IFTA calculations, webinar on how to open trucking company. Now, what is the next step? Well, the next step is to become independent dispatcher. The next step is to build that business from the ground. Is it easy? Well, it's not, but it is doable. It is doable because you got the knowledge. You got already basic foundation and you can start dispatch. Now you need to organize your business. Well, you need some tips. Well, you need some extra expertise because I have been doing it for a long time. That's why I decided to do hands-on webinar on how to run and how to open independent dispatch service. It can be only one carrier, it can be 3 carriers. You can set it up as a business model and start hiring people working for your dispatch training center. This webinar is for business-oriented people, for people who are not afraid to work, to put their goals ahead of them, and who are gonna achieve them. I am gonna help you. I am gonna push you to horizon, but you have to do the first step. Sign up, and I'll see you soon. And always me, Alex, your sassy dispatch girl. Let's change trucking together for better, and I will help you. See you soon in my class. Stay safe on the road. Love you all. And I am back, and I'm gonna introduce you guys my former student, Brittany, and we're gonna see her success story. And you know what? She was not even aware that she's gonna be on live, but she's my superstar. I texted her like 2 hours ago, and I'm like, do you want to be on live? Do you want to empower women? Do you want to make sure that all the students know that it's doable? So let's bring her up. And we're gonna hear how she's done it, what is she doing, and what challenges she still have to overcome. Hi, Brittany, how are you? I cannot hear you. You need to make sure that you turn on your volume. While Brittany is trying to figure it out. Brittany is trying to figure it out.
Are you there? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you now. Okay. Hi, how are you, honey?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. How's Monday treating you?
It's good. It's over.
It's over, right?
My week is already finished, though. My week and next week is already completed.
Wow, you already pre-booking, right?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So some people don't really know you. Maybe some classmates remember you from the class. So tell us, how did you got to this industry? What was your experience before? What did you do before? And what challenges did you have? So let's start first with Where are you located? When did you finish our class? So let's start from. I'm gonna be asking you questions while you telling us the story.
Okay. So I started in March. Before that, I worked in tech support and an airport. I was making $30 an hour, working 8 to 5, holidays, all these crazy hours, and always micromanaged. I got tired of being micromanaged, wanted something different. So I opened up my LLC, took Alex's class, found her on YouTube, and just took everything that she said and applied it. So my company is called Morning Till Dawn Dispatching Services. I started my LLC back in March. I took her class, completed it, and
so let's go back. So you had you had a great job, $30 an hour. This is, probably half of America would love to have your job, right? Working lots of hours, but then you realize that you probably want to have more flexibility and make more money, right?
Yes.
Okay. So no trucking knowledge whatsoever.
None.
Husbands, boyfriends, family members in trucking?
Boyfriend, yes.
In trucking. So
yes.
You had a little glance, right? What's
yes.
going on? Probably listen, maybe complaints about dispatch, right? Not coming back on time on the holidays, or not brokers not paying well enough, right?
Yes.
So why did you decide not to just maybe go and be a safety professional for the trucking, or maybe just go and be a company dispatcher? Why did you want it to be? Because I remember you called me and you had your plan on, I want to be independent dispatch person. You called me a few times. You wanted to make sure. And we did not even started class. And you were like, I need to start studying. I need to start studying. Send me something. Send me. I'm like, who is this Brittany? She wants so much from me. But that's what I like, because I can see the eager. You wanted to learn. So why did you think that independent dispatch can actually give you that financial stability and growth?
I wanted to do it because I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to work from home. I wanted my freedom to work wherever. I was just on vacation myself in Colorado, and I was working from Colorado on my phone, in the restaurant, wherever I was at. I was able to work, and I didn't have to worry about asking, a boss or a supervisor to see if I can leave. As long as I had my phone and my laptop, I was able to work wherever. So,
okay. So you took my class, you were finishing all the homeworks, you had a lot of questions. Sometimes I remember you were looking at me like, Alex, this is too much, right? But every time I told you, just keep doing it, right? Just stick and improve your skills. We had a session where you had a taste of how to book the loads, right?
yes.
So how was that experience? Do you think it finally helped you to put it together? Because I give a lot of information, blah, blah, blah. I talk. My classes are never 4 hours, they have 5 hours. I have so much stories and expertise to share that it's overwhelming. A lot of people know that it's overwhelming. Then you had quizzes, then you had homework, then you had to do assignments. But do you think that practice, when you finally make, because I remember, I should have, I should have go through my archives and find the video, because I remember you were so scared to make that first phone call.
Yes, I was. I kept repeating myself. Remember, I was repeating everything they said because I was so nervous. And I know how to talk with people because I worked in customer service, but it was just so different being on the phone and trying to negotiate and understand, and to remember, the commodity, what the temperature needs to be at, the distance, just everything gets overwhelming. But once you get a hang of it and you build that relationship with your brokers, it's so easy. It's so easy. It's stressful at first and trying to get, your relationship started. But once you get your relationship started, okay. I'm done in 20 minutes. 20 minutes a day.
So you finished that the phone calls you set up, and then it was some period of time. And I remember you were posting your picture, you open your company, you were posting in those groups, and every time I see my students, I like. So when I know who you are, I always like. And then you had frustration. I remember even few text message, Alex, I cannot find nobody, they not answering me. So tell me, how long did it took you, and what steps did you do every day to get that first carrier, and how did you approach them?
It
How
took
did
me
they
about,
trust you?
yeah, it took me about 3 weeks. I started making flyers and I was, posting them on social media. I also went to truck stops and also started handing out my flyers there, networking with other people. Just in any little group you could get on, even if it's a little comment like, hi, how are you? Start at a low percentage, because remember, there's a lot of dispatchers out there and some pros, and you're competing with them that have been in the industry for a long time. So you have to just be patient and persistent and just keep going. I got so many no's before I got a yes. And then finally, when one carrier decided to let me help them grow, I took full advantage. Before they asked me to do it, I already did it for them. So
Okay. So you started with a lower percentage. So may I ask you, how much did you start in the beginning?
I started with 5,
5.
4 to 5.
Well,
Yeah.
which is not that bad compared to outside of the country, 1.5%, 2%. So 4, 5. And it was the person who, how did they find you? Flyer, the
Flyer,
Facebook,
social media.
how did
Flyer,
they
social
find
media, and then I started with box trucks at first. So
you?
you got to charge a lower percent, and they are a lot harder and a lot more work. But you just got to give them that reassurance. I offered invoices. I had my own load board. I had several load boards. I was on TQL, Coyote, all with that one carrier. They allowed me to sign up on their behalf, so that actually helped me out a lot. And that was my selling point to get my other carriers.
Well, but you cannot really book from their load board, or you can get information and then you call, right?
Yeah, well, they gave me their whole access and their logins and everything, so I just did everything on their behalf.
Okay, so that's good. And which load board you personally like the most?
I like that.
You like that. So do
Yeah.
you have the pro
I
subscription?
have the pro.
You have a pro subscription. Well, let me ask you this paperwork, and I'm not talking about you doing the invoicing for them, but agreement between you and the carrier. How easy it was? Because I hope you do have some kind
Yes.
of agreement.
Yes.
How did you get it, and what are the some of the terms? Like, do they have to give you notice before they cancel, and how do they pay you? Because everybody's wondering how they're gonna pay me. Everybody's so afraid that they're gonna work for free. And
No,
it's
I had found a packet, I think, from another dispatcher. I paid to get her packet, and it was like, when I could edit on Adobe, and I got her packet and I kind of changed it around. So I invoice every week. I offer where they could pay me either on Zelle, Cash App, PayPal. And once I invoice them, they pay every week. I don't have any problems. I do have, if they're late, I charge a 1.3% if they don't pay by Friday. And just in the agreement, it basically just, kind of covers my company. And, this is an agreement. It's not a contract. People don't like to hear contracts, so it's just like an agreement. And I charge like a $60 upfront fee. And
different between working and new carriers and all already carriers who've been in the business. Who do you dispatch for? New carriers?
I dispatch for new carriers.
So we have two newbies. Brittany newbie in business and they a newbie. Actually, you know what? This is the best combination because both of you can grow together and achieve goals. Because sometimes it is challenging if you are newer in this business to approach people who've been in business 5-6 years. Or they're going to take advantage of you and they want you to do it for free, paying you way, way less. Or they're going to be so picky that at some point you're going to say, you know what? I don't even want to dispatch for you because they will be controlling you every move. Let me ask you this. Remember, in a class, I always say, If you really want to succeed, you're going to make sure they trust you and
Mm.
you're going to make decision. So be honest with me. Do you call every time you book the load to your carrier and ask, should I take this load or should I not take
No,
it?
no.
Right?
Nope, because what I do is before I work with a carrier, I set up a kind of like a conference call and see if our, requirements meet each other's. Because, we got to make sure that we work as a unit and we're fit for each other, because we're not always going to be fit for everybody. So I let them know what I offer, what I can do for them. I, let them tell me what they want from me, how I can improve their company and how I can help them grow. And I tell them, this is a relationship and we got to trust each other. I'm not going to call you every 5 minutes to make sure it's okay. You tell me what rates you want and what areas you want to be in, and I will work from there. And they have to trust you. You guys have to have that relationship, because if not, it's not going to work.
Sometimes the dispatcher, we see the whole picture, what's going on. Sometimes owner of the company, he just thinks about today. He doesn't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and market can change. We have spot market, right? Maybe he's used to get certain amount of money, but market is paying more. So if he's just going to tell you, well, I always want just $3,000 to go from Chicago to York, PA, and boom, today actually market have been paying 4,600. I got the load for 4,600. So if I would listen to my owner operator, okay, it's easy. Any load I could have covered today for $3,000, they would be telling me, thank you, Alex. But as a dispatcher, it is our job to make sure that we give them the best what is on the market, due to spot market, due to holidays, due to the market changes. So which equipment do you work with?
I work with power only. I have 2 carriers. I'm going to be growing probably after the summer, but I just choose to stay with those 2 right now. And I help them get into the ports. So I built a relationship with brokers, and now I don't even use the load boards. They call me directly on my cell phone or my business phone, and I don't even have to call them. They call me. So I already got my carrier loads all this week and next week, because I'm going to be going on vacation to Florida on Friday. So I'm done for these 2 weeks, and I'm done.
And how hard was it to build that relationship?
It was a little hard at first, because you don't really know anybody. But once you start booking those loads, you gotta, like Alex said, you gotta be persistent. You gotta keep them updated. You gotta let them know where your driver's at. Any complications, even if you get tired of, like today.
Even if your Uber breakdowns, right, with ice cream, you still.
Thank God that didn't happen. But a port load, and the chassis had a flat. So, you got to keep your broker updated, stating, roadside assistance is almost here. They haven't gotten here. Okay, we're up and ready. Can we, push back the appointment time? You always got to communicate, and they're going to respect you for that. And they're going to come to you because they know you're reliable, and
then and they know that you're honest, and you take and you solve the problem instead of start line. And sometimes, remember, even in a class, sometimes we're gonna be storytellers, but to a certain point. But when you already building a relationship, it's better to be honest. So it takes time, but giving updates, being honest with them, telling them that why do you need extra while? Because guys, I've been doing a great job. But for you doing a good job, what do you need? You need to have a teamwork. So your carrier, your driver, and you is a team. So when you guys manage this as a team, that's when you have a winning combination, right?
My driver started with 1 truck. Now he has 4 within, and we both started. I started with him in the end of March, and now it's July, and he's grew to 4.
Okay. But also, what other step are you doing now? And actually you did, because you realize that most of the new carriers have no clue about safety and compliance.
No clue. Yep. And I just got done taking your class, which I got to take my final test. I was just on vacation. But you got to know safety. You got to know IFTA. You got to know HOS. You got to know how to start a company. Because anybody can offer a dispatch service by like, oh, I charge 3% and I could do invoices. I got a load board. Everybody has a load board. Anybody could fill out the packets. You have to give them knowledge that they don't have, because what makes you different than the next one and the next one and the next one? How are you going to go out the shell? How are you going to stand out? You have to improve yourself and your learning, and you got to go above and beyond, or it's not going to work.
Yeah. But don't you think that after, and safety is intense, it's 4 days, don't you think you feel more powerful now?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right? Don't you feel more calm, and you kind of already like, wow, I'm almost there. You're not 100% pro yet, because I told you it takes a year. It's gonna happen. All the seasons, mistakes, something's gonna happen. It's not that perfect. But if you have extra knowledge, you have it inside of you. And that's when you talk, when they look in your eyes, when they ask you something, that's when they come to you. That's why they're going to come to you. That's why they're going to come to me, because you came to my class. I go to take extra classes. I never stop, because you need to bring them knowledge. You need to make sure that all the updates happen there. You tell them first, not them telling you that they heard from somebody. Well, by the way, heavy duty taxes is due this August, right? So now, do you need to remind them? Because this guy, he's new. He just bought new trucks. He probably doesn't know the deadlines. And some of them, they have been working for other companies. They've been taking care of their IFTA, of their permits, of their plates, of their heavy duty taxes. So now you can offer the service, of course, for extra money. So that's when we go and charge extra money, providing them safety. And sometimes, if that's too complicated, well, you're going to say, well, it's just too much for me. I'm just going to do dispatch. I can advise you what you need to do, and you can do it in the house. But I believe, and I think because of summer now, and you and me took a little break, I do believe that you have a big potential to grow and actually don't just be an independent dispatcher, but be a dispatch service run by Brittany, right? That's why I wanted to bring you here, because you one of my success story, and I do believe in you, because you have ability now to manage other people. Get more trucks. Because honestly, physically, I know you say, well, all of your trucks pre-planned, but still at some point after 10, 12, 14 trucks, it's just too much. It's just too much. You still want to enjoy life with your kids. You still want to go on vacation. So at some point, you're going to understand, well, I need to bring some help in. But we are talking, what, 3 months now? 3 months, right? 3 months. I mean, in America, we're not talking about making money and all of this, but averaging a week. How much are you making average in a week? Being an independent dispatcher from home with 2 carriers.
3K to 4K, depending on if all the trucks are up and running.
So we're talking, if we average 3,000 a week, right?
Yep.
12,000 a week. Did you make 12,000 a week and your high pay job 30 hours?
No.
Have you been able to go on vacations?
Yes.
Anytime you feel like?
Yep.
When you were working in an airport?
Nope.
No. So have you been standing on your feet, walking around from 8-9 hours every day?
Nope.
Right? So was it worth it?
It was definitely worth it. Like, I really work average maybe like 30 minutes to an hour a day, and that's it. And then I get up early, make sure my trucks are ready, get them pins to get in and out the port, make sure the invoices are right, and pre-book the next day. And I go to the gym, I go shopping. I just, moved out of an old apartment, got into a new apartment. So there's just
you can afford it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I upgrade to everything because now I can afford it. Now I can do all that.
Okay, so let's answer a few questions, because people asking you, were you able to do this part-time in the beginning, or did you go full in? Well, you had no other job, right?
I quit my job and went all full in. And like I said, it was really hard because like the first 3 weeks, I didn't make no money because I was promoting, I was getting my LLC ready. So making, the money at the airport to making nothing every week was really hard, and I doubted myself, but I knew there's money in it. There, we need transportation, we need food in the shelves, we need water, we need life. Everything has to deal with transportation. So I knew it was going to be hard, but I just kept going.
Okay. So when we really go back, let's say you spend $600 for dispatch class, then you come back for safety, another $600, so you got discount. So let's say $1,100. $1,100 was our training, and now you can make $3,000. Does any college can offer you this?
No. It probably could, but not the training you do. You do high intense and your hands-on, which is really good. It was frustrating, but it's good though, because once you start doing it, you learn it and you understand it. Because if you don't apply it, you're not going to learn it.
Okay. So you're giving me 5 stars, right?
I'm giving you 10 stars, 10 stars.
You're giving me 10 stars. But yes, you're right. I am direct and I am pushy. Why? Because we don't have as much time. And I want to make sure you succeed. So not because I want to make your life miserable, right? Or scare you, but because I want to make sure that you learn as much as possible. And always you can ask questions, because you always text me and ask some questions in the beginning. You still text me sometimes, and you come back from the state. I still going to probably see you in IFTA, and you will need to know the steps, how to open trucking companies, because now you will have people who will be reaching out to you. Open me MC, open me DOT, open me this. So this is extra things you can charge. So she's asking again, making $3,000 a week. Yes, Carol, $3,000 a week. And Brittany finished our class on February, right?
It was like, I think in March. Yeah, like
and Brittany, please make sure you tell that it's not prepaid advertisement, because I texted you today. Do you want to be on?
Yeah, literally. She's like, because she's always all, get on my live. I'm like, I hate being on camera. But yes, I literally taking her class and just hustling and, going above and beyond and working. You can make money. My goal by the end of September is to get 2 more carriers. And my goal is to make $10,000 a week. And I believe I can do it. And I know I can do it.
I can do it because I can do it.
Yep.
I can do it. I'm a little bit higher per week, but you can do it. 10K a week, you can do it. You almost there as me. So plus I have all the classes. You can do it. And I started as 70, and you don't need to buy equipment. You don't have to have trucking company anymore. So yes, it is possible. So let's see. Crystal's asking, how long did your new carrier have their authority?
30 days. They were brand new.
Brand new. So all the setups have to be done.
Yeah.
They were brand new. So it's not that easy. So extra phone calls. But you have to understand, Brittany is working with a power only unit. So she got that niche, and they don't go all over 48 states, right?
No.
And you are in Texas, right?
This power unit is in actually Charleston, South Carolina, and we got him registered in Savannah Port and Wando Port and Hugh Leatherman Port. So I got him registered in 3 ports. So we moved for all 3 ports within South Carolina, Atlanta, and North Carolina. So he goes within those areas. So. And usually the rates I get them are like $4 to $6, rate per mile, because, a lot of them are military containers, and you have to get your carriers cleared with military. And
did they get TWIC cards?
Yep, they have TWIC cards. They have UIIA, which is a SAT code.
Okay. So do they have to be a United citizens?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I never filled out the UIIA form, but my carriers are United citizens, but I don't know, to be honest with you, Alex.
Okay. So also, how low should you start as a new dispatcher for box trucks?
I would say like about 4%, because, they really don't, the rates are really hard and for box trucks, and there's a lot of box trucks out there. So you gotta, offer. I started, like I said, with 3 box trucks, and my percentage was 4. And, it's a lot of work, but you have to start to get familiar with the load boards, talking to the, brokers, filling out the packets, understanding the packets, filling them out correctly, not putting your info, putting their info, because you can easily mess something up for them, which will cost their company. So you got to really understand how to fill out that packet so you're not, it won't come back and mess everything up for you and that other person.
Okay. Also, let's see if we have any other questions. Thanks to you. Same question. How do you set up? Okay. Well, how do you set up a factory account? Well, Brittany, can you, as a dispatcher, set up your own factory? Answer that, because you already are almost a pro.
Yeah. I just set up so I can refer, and they'll give me after so many, I might get like $100. But the carrier itself will set up with RTS, OTR, Triumph, whatever. They'll set it up, and they can give you a login and your carrier login. So just in case the carrier don't want you to see that half of the factoring, but. Yeah, just always refer. Sometimes people will give them discount rates like 2%, 3% just by your referral. And then since you referred them, they know they can use you because you have some type of network. People always want network. So if you can offer them something like, hi, use, Alex, RTS, she does this type of this, she offers factoring at 2%. Use me, you could get the 2% instead of the 3%. That's a sales pitch.
Yeah. And and plus, if you have me as an insurance agent, and you have me as an RTS agent, and you have me as a safety consultant, you have me actually building your company for you. And of course, the relationship is deeper, and we become more friendly. And actually, we do help them a lot with the expertise. Well, Ali was asking, what's the best way for a new dispatch service to acquire new owners besides what? Leo, you did not besides hold on. Besides ads on a Facebook. Thank you. He's finishing his sentence. Besides ads on a Facebook.
Just network, like I said, go make flyers, put flyers up at truck stops. If you have like uncles or anybody in the trucking business, I had my boyfriend literally go to every state and in the men's bathroom. I'm sure they took him down, but there was a couple people that did call and say, I saw your flyer in the restroom. I saw your flyer here, and they will want to know about your services, and you got to be ready to, sell. You got to sell yourself.
How did you create the flyer? Did you hire somebody? I know you have website as well. So did you hire somebody to help you?
I used I think their name is like Fiverr. It's like a third party company. I think it was like $20 for them to I sent them a picture, kind of put a little description of what I wanted. They sent it to me within like 48 hours. I printed it out in color, and that was it. Really, it wasn't much.
Okay. How did you came up with a name? Because a lot of people have a hard time coming up with a name.
I came up with the name because morning, obviously it's morning, and then dawn, because you will work dawn, you will work weekends. I work for myself, so I'm the only person right now. So I got to work weekends, nights, mornings, evenings, everything. So I wanted something that looked professional, morning till dawn, dispatching services. So when people think about it, they're like, okay, morning and to the dawn, and obviously dispatching. So you're not confused by saying trucking, because they might think you're a trucking company. They might think, you own trucks. They don't know what you offer. You can't have crazy names, because this is representing you and your company. If you want to grow, you want people to say, oh, I'm at Trucks Dispatching, or make it real clear and simple so people can understand what you offer.
Okay. But also you have to put yourself out there. Mm-hmm. I was on vacation, and somebody texted me and gave me all this thumbs up for what I'm doing and how he's inspired to watch my videos and I'm the best. And then he's asking me, well, I'm trying to reach carriers and they don't really want to talk to me. First of all, guys does not have even picture profile. So who are you? Mm-hmm. Like, people want to see who you really are. It's not a beauty pageant, but they want to see, are you real? They want to see your name, not some fake name, right? So they want to see, okay, this is Brittany, this is Alexandra. They want to really see where you located, right? So that's a reason why some of them were not talking to him. Secondly, when I ask, do you have any knowledge and expertise? And he says, yeah, I know some things. I'm like, okay, do you know the markets? And he's like, yes, I know that going to East Coast, they pay more. And going from East Coast, they do not pay. So here, guys, and he's trying to like help me. And I can feel that he's probably outside of the USA. Guys, I can help you, but you need to understand. You need the basic knowledge. You get it from us or you get from somebody else, but this is not the basic knowledge. I know that going to East Coast, it pays more. Coming out from East Coast, it doesn't pay more. This is not the knowledge. Secondary, the name, then the presence. And of course, you need to know what are you talking about. Yeah. Do you think if you would not come to our class, were you able to even talk about different equipment, markets, quick rate, how to get set up?
Nope. I didn't know anything. And I took 2 dispatching courses prior to Alex's. And I didn't.
You did not tell me. I think maybe you did tell me.
Yeah, I did. Remember, I told you, I was like, I don't even know what to do anymore. Like, are you going to teach me, girl? Because I took 2 more classes before you. So I was kind of hesitant because I spent a lot of money on taking other dispatching courses, and they didn't give me the knowledge that Alex did.
You took 2 before me.
Yeah, 2 before you.
And was those pre-recorded or live?
Yeah, pre-recorded and paper. Remember, I told you I had to do a lot of paper, and that's how I don't learn by paper. I have to learn by Brittany. What does this mean? Brittany, what does this say? Brittany, what is it? That's how I learned. So Alex being, her sassy dispatch self, like made me
like you now.
made me understand. So yeah, it's that's how I learned. Other people can learn by reading, but that was not.
How much did you spend on other 2 classes, if I may ask?
I spent $900 on one class, and then $500 on the other one, and then yours was the $600. So I spent about like almost $2,000 just in dispatching, which I would have.
You could have just come to me.
I know. I seriously wish I did, but I didn't. Until you were like.
But listen, you know what? This is a good example of not giving up. Although you went to one class, you did not get because you did not feel comfortable. You still went to the second class. And that's why I remember you called me and I could hear that aggravation already in your voice. Like, are you sure you're going to teach me this time? And I'm like, what is this girl? What is her issue? Well, I understand what the issue is because you went to 2 different classes. You, before me, already spent $1,500 and you were still lost. Because I remember the first class. Yes, you knew some little things, but like the whole how it works, it just wasn't there. So it's kind of disappointing because I wish everybody, if you teach the class, you have to make sure that people understand the principles, the skills, how to put it together, and of course, to give that experience of making phone calls. Because nowadays with technology, it's no excuse. What I've seen in this industry, a lot of people do not do this anymore. So they did it before and they just run it off of their name or they just have a knowledge. You cannot teach dispatch. You can teach safety by not maybe doing safety because it's only regulations. You can teach accounting by not doing accounting because of where you are. But dispatch, if you don't do it every day, you cannot teach. Yeah. That's not because I'm saying, oh, I am the best. Although I think I am the best. I think I am giving my 100% because look at you. You my success story, right? So some advices. Do you offer any additional services like IFTA? Well, we just discussed this. What are you going to be offering soon?
Safety. I just got done taking the safety class, so I'm going to be offering safety. Actually just like kind of getting all these new carriers set up on how to, get their paperwork set up, what to put in their trucks, their paperwork for their trucks, their trailers, their employees, if there's any accidents. Prior to that, I didn't know that. Obviously, you got to have paperwork, but I didn't know the paperwork process that you needed to have before you throw your trucks out there because everybody gets so excited and they're like, I'm approved 30 days.
Let's go.
And then, you didn't do the clearinghouse. You didn't do the drug screening. You didn't do the hiring process. You didn't do the application. You did not do, the roadside test before you sent them out there. None, the safety videos, any type of policies. A lot, if you ask these carriers, they do not know. My carrier didn't even have that. So I had to go back and help my carrier create these folders and these packets and what to put in the truck, because like Alex said, ready or not, when audit comes, you got to have that ready within 24 to 48 hours. If it's not ready, you're going to get an outing, and you have to, then if they ain't running, you ain't making no money. Ain't nobody making money. So you have to be prepared and get your drivers ready, because if they're not ready and you don't have that knowledge, because nowadays anybody wants to be a dispatcher, anybody wants to do it, but not everybody can do it.
But also you're working with a new carrier. So they will be having mandatory new entrant audit. And nowadays it's from 6 to 18 months. Sometimes right now I've been doing a lot preparation, 6 months. After 6 months, you're going to have mandatory one, because they still not consider a carrier. They still new entrant in a system. They have to pass that first audit so for them to have a green one, and then hopefully their safety is going to be good. They will never have an audit, not from IFTA, not from IRP, not from FMCSA, but mandatory. So how can you not to know safety? How you cannot know compliance? And as we discussed in the class, I think it should be mandatory. If you want to open trucking company, if you want to pay the $300 for MC, you should take the training and you should pass the SAM examination, because we have so many people who have no clue about this side, and then they invest in that money, and then what's going to happen? Well, they shut them down. And what do we see? Oh, can I buy UMC? Can I buy UMC? MC for sale, MC for sale. They don't even understand that when you buy somebody else's MC, the moment you switch on your name and address, you consider as a new MC. So here you go, 10,000 goes bye-bye, 20,000 goes bye-bye. So if anybody wants to spend their 10, 15,000, guys, come to me and we're gonna use it for charity. Wow. Have you encountered any mistakes that you were able to learn from? So tell me something that you now know for sure you're not gonna do it.
Ice cream? No.
Ice cream?
No, just kind of negotiate. Like at first I was taking, a lower rate. I didn't have the confidence that I had. I sent my driver somewhere that they weren't really comfortable with, because I didn't really know the map or the area. But, being a dispatcher, you got to know the weather. You got to know your states. You got to know the locations. You got to know if there's mountains. You got to know if it's raining. You got to know if it's hurricane season. You got to know everything. So just those little, mistakes of learning, but you'll grow, and you just got to kind of shake it off and, sorry, let's move on. Let's do this. And so, you got it, because you're going to make mistakes. You don't know everything.
No, I mean, I go and I still do some mistakes sometimes, but you learn. And preventing, understanding if you made that mistake, make sure you learn that lesson. Go in extra step. Go in extra, giving that update, verifying information. For you, a little bit easy. The moment you're going to go a little bit outside of just port, you will need to do extra step. Is the product ready? How heavy it is? Make sure that the driver secure that load, right? Pictures before, after, paperwork, bill of lading.
That's how I build my company too. Is I did strictly a business Instagram, strictly a business Facebook. So I have like separate from my personal to my business one, and taking pictures of, having them take pictures of the truck, of the load, of the ports, whatever to send.
I've seen that, and it's very creative, and it's actually very nice and it's actually simple free advertising, because now people can see, wow, my truck is going here. This is load today. This is another truck. He's moving. Wow, you can even do screenshot. Here's his growth for the week. Because people want to see honest numbers, because we have so much lying into industry. Oh, come to me. You're going to have 15,000 a week. Wow, like what? Driving as a team or doing what? I mean, they don't specify what is it going to take to get that 15,000, right? Or what kind of equipment. So that's why the people can feel that. and being honest and saying, when you know what, yes, I just start doing it, but here my carrier made this money, you know what, I think it's better to do this, but it takes time, but not 10 years, not 20 years, right? So let's answer a few more questions. What is a new carrier? Couple of months did not do the driver qualification and driver application, and then I started to do it for current drivers from that date. Now everything is compliant, but they have no papers from the beginning. Does they gonna pass DOT audit? Well, guys, here is advice. Go back and try to do your best. Make sure that you can go back and finish that paperwork. You need to make sure that it's done. Wow. And we're going to have, this is very inspiring. I have admired your class from May, but once I get cash, I will surely join. You're very passionate. Okay, blessing. Thank you. Actually, you can send us your letter and we'll see if you're going to be the winner for our free classes. What else? I think we're going to be finishing up because it's been more than an hour, right, Brittany? We know we talk a lot. Since here's one more question. Since you started a low percentage to charge, will you increase the percentage with them or charge higher with the new carriers?
New carriers, because you started with them, so they're going to honor you if you keep them at that rate, because you can't just be like, oh, now all of a sudden we got to charge you. No, it's, you kind of started with them, so they have that respect and
loyalty.
It's loyalty.
It's loyalty.
Yeah. So your next one's like, now I charge 10% because I tell them, hey, I can sign you up for the port. I know how to get you in and out the port. I know the steps to get you a chassis. I have relationship with these brokers that will give you these loads, and these loads are dedicated to me through me. So, you got, those are just going to be your selling points. These are the people you started with. You stick with the rate, you help them grow, and you will increase. If you stay loyal, you will increase.
Yeah. And again, now you have extra knowledge. Now you know how to get into the port. So actually, yes, you can charge more because why would they go to somebody who doesn't have a clue when you can show? But you had to start somewhere. So that's why loyalty. I have some carriers who I started a long time ago. And believe me, sometimes they're like, Alex, for the job you do, I want to pay you more. And I'm like, no, that's okay. If you want to sponsor somebody for the class, come back to me, do something, do the charity. And I'm okay, because that's what does it take you. That first people who believe in you, people who come back to me, and now they still come back to me with insurance, with factoring, with real estate, with everything else. So, I mean, any business, anything I am going to do, they're going to trust me. Well, let's see one more question. I did the first class yesterday. Oh, James, how are you? Yeah, so yesterday was 5-hour class, 29 students. Brittany took us an hour or 15 minutes just to introduce ourselves. Woo! Everybody's so different. Everybody's so unique. It was very exciting class. You know what? It's so funny. I was on vacation and I had nightmare because I forgot my login for Zoom. So I'm like sending my assistant, I forgot my login for Zoom. I cannot set up the link. Can you make sure you send the link for the new students? And believe it or not, I had nightmares that my students could not enter the class. So talking about being dedicated, I was flying and like, oh my God, let me check if it works. Sleeping Saturday and I flew in like 9 p.m. late and wake up. I have a nightmare that my students cannot log in. I wake up 7 in the morning checking if my Zoom is working. But was very intense class. So yes, James, if you want to become a dispatcher, yes, you can. It doesn't have to be LLC. It can be S corporation, C corporation, S corporation. It depends on your state. It depends how do you want to pay your taxes. Brittany, you have LLC or
LLC? Yep.
Okay. So we're gonna be done with the questions, but we're not really gonna be done because we are empowering people, right? Yes. And I think, Brittany, after we're going to give award to one person, you're going to understand why did I choose this participant. Well, you're a mom. I'm a mom. Yes. I might be getting a little bit touchy here, but let's read this. So we are going to give the free class for dispatch to Juliet, and I'm going to read you her story. Dear Sassy Dispatch Girl, I am so humbled to be writing you this message. First of all, I would like to say a big thanks for you for doing such a great job. You are really a gem. You are an inspiration, if not to anyone, you have been to me. Watching your video alone makes me fulfilled. I would like to be part of your dispatching class because I really want to be a dispatcher, but I'm currently facing financial issues. I'm a mother of 2 boys and a girl, 2-year-old, 1-year-old, and 7 weeks. I was doing very well for myself, but things have been really tough. My husband is the only source of our income, yet we have so many bills to pay. I really want to get into the industry because I am a goal-getter. It was a shame I couldn't get a birthday cake for my second born when he turned 1 year old. I mean, Brittany, you a mom.
Yeah.
You can understand this, right? Not be financially able to get the cake. This is just like, that's, I am about to want to cry. He was born during COVID-19. Sometimes money to buy food or clothes becomes a problem. I want to get into the industry so I can be financially stable and take care of myself, kids, and also support my husband pays the bills. There are also so needy people in my country I need to take care of. If I get picked, I know my entire story will change hopefully 3 months from now. Thank you very much for consideration and blessing. Juliet. Well, Juliet, from my heart, from Brittany, from all of us, yes, actually, I want to make sure that all the kids get their birthday cakes. So I'm not going to award you just the dispatch class. I'm awarding you 3 classes: dispatch, safety, and IFTA, because I want to make sure that you will become a success story. Because some of us are really blessed. We've been making money. We still have different circumstances. But I think that's what we do. Try to change somebody's life and touch. So thank you, Brittany, for coming today, sharing your story, because hopefully today, and I want everybody to give thumbs up to Brittany because she rocks, guys. If you're still watching us, she deserves this because she's a true example of somebody who did not give up after paying for 3 trainings, who did not say no for an answer. Now she takes no when they don't give her the rates. Yeah, she's going to say no. No way. I'm not giving you my truck, right? But she is a great example that it can be possible. 4 months after the class, 3,000 a week, and keep going. And I know she's gonna have service. I know she's dreaming becoming mega carrier. So one day we're gonna go on vacation together, Brittany.
Yes,
we're gonna celebrate that, right? Anyway, thank you so much again, Brittany. Good luck to you. See you soon in other classes.
Yes.
God bless you and your family, and say thank you to your carriers from me. Make sure that they stay safe and compliant.
Yes.
And look at that. You receive so many things. See? Thank you, Brittany. See, everybody's telling you this is awesome. Yes, guys, it is awesome because we can do it. We can change somebody's life. We can empower each other. And we can change this industry. Yeah. Thank you. Bye, honey.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, guys. And remember that our classes are coming up. So we have our webinar, How to Open Trucking Company, this coming Sunday. If you're serious of coming into this industry, it's 3-hour webinar. Intense hands-on. You know, guys, I am hands-on. You're going to know how to open DOT, MC, UCR, clearinghouse, permits. You're going to know all the steps you need to do to start trucking smart. In the end of the August, new webinar, how to open dispatch service. Guys, you have to make sure that you reach out for help and outsources. Sometimes It seems like it's easy, but you need extra expertise. You need extra help. And that's what we do here in Learn Dispatch today in our dispatch training center. And always it's me, Alex, and it's have been a Monday talk. God bless all of you. I will be reaching out to Juliet, and hopefully in few months we're gonna see her on one of my lives, and we're gonna see another success story. Let's change trucking for better, guys. Let's do it. Subscribe to our channel. Every like, guys, helps me out to get out there, to make sure that we can do it. Every share helps. So if you would be kind to share our videos, our promotions to all the groups, I would kindly appreciate. For all my new class, homework is coming in. Tomorrow you're getting the quiz. I'll see you Saturday. Make sure you're ready. Another intense class. Love you all and see you soon. Remember, we have freight brokerage class coming up as well. Hi, it's me, Alex, your sassy dispatch girl. Well, most of you are my former students and you took my dispatch classes already. Some of you took my safety and compliance training, IFTA calculations, webinar on how to open trucking company. Now, what is the next step? Well, the next step is to become independent dispatcher. The next step is to build that business from the ground. Is it easy? Well, it's not, but it is doable. It is doable because you got that knowledge. You got already basic foundation and you can start dispatch. Now you need to organize your business. Well, you need some tips. Well, you need some extra expertise because I have been doing it for a long time. That's why I decided to do hands-on webinar on how to run and how to open independent dispatch service. It can be only one carrier, it can be 3 carriers. You can set it up as a business model and start hiring people working for your dispatch training center. This webinar is for business-oriented people, for people who are not afraid to work, to put their goals ahead of them, and who are gonna achieve them. I am gonna help you. I am gonna push you to horizon, but you have to do the first step. Sign up, and I'll see you soon. And always, me, Alex, your sassy dispatch girl. Let's change trucking together for better, and I will help you. See you soon in my class. Stay safe on the road. Love you all.